So about a year ago, I made a video on Modern Day Knights, which is basically an Alpha Male Bootcamp cult. They do some insane stuff, just some, highlights here. They will scream and yell at you as you're doing the program.
This is why fucking motherfuckers like you go through divorces and your fucking wives leave you.
They'll throw you off of hills and then make you dig your own grave. Super neat stuff. And over the past year, more creators have talked about this group. All very funny videos, I'll link them down below. But it recently just hit a boiling point where everyone was talking about Modern Day Knights. It actually wasn't as much talking about them as it is more making fun of them. Which, yeah, there's a lot to be made fun of there.
Eat the fucking cookie! Eat the fucking cookie! Alright, there, you suffer till you eat till you finish the fucking cookie. Yeah, just sit there. Just sit there. Eat the fucking cookie!
And these strong alphas quickly became betas because they were getting trolled. So much so that they didn't make one, not two, but 3 response videos calling out the haters. All 3 of these response videos are pretty much what you would expect from these guys. So let's check in on these super level-headed guys and see how they're doing. Now, when my video came out, the cost to doing this training that they call the project was $15,000. That has since changed. Now it's $18,000. I know, what a steal. Now here's Steve. You might recognize him as the avid supporter of you eating cookies.
Eat the fucking cookie!
Now Steve's gonna tell us why $18,000 is totally reasonable.
Here's the first problem I have with people who say it's so expensive and this and that. That's the original problem right there. Imagine this, that if you could get rid of that low self-esteem and low worth and low ambition that you have and that fixed mindset you have that thinks that $18,000 is so expensive.
Guys, just think that $18,000 isn't a lot of money and then it won't be. Come on, stupid. When I go to Vegas, I only play $18,000 a hand. But yeah, Steve, starting off with a great argument there.
If someone can get you to break through that self-limiting belief and barrier where you think $18,000 is so expensive, imagine if someone could get you to think that it's not that expensive and start making you think a little bit bigger and a little bit differently and have a different perspective on life. That skill alone, that breakthrough alone, by itself is worth 1,000 times $18,000.
It's worth $18,000 times 1,000? Yeah, I don't think it's worth $18 million. I would rather just take the $18 million and still think that $18,000 is a lot of money. Steve then mentions that an 18-year-old did this boot camp and actually got a job through his connections of doing all of this.
There was an 18-year-old that came through. That's Lucas. And you know what he's doing now? By the time he turned 19, he's making over $100,000 a year, actually working in sales for another graduate that he met in the program.
I'm just imagining someone at work is like, wait, so how did you two meet? It's a funny story. We met at this training where people yell at you, telling you how you aren't a man. But we started getting close when we got waterboarded together. But I knew he was going to be my best friend when we started digging our own graves next to each other. Great experience. Here's my question though. Why was that not the first thing you brought up on why this would be worth $18,000? You could have said we meet a lot of cool people who want to just help each other out. But instead of saying that, you went with the no, $18,000 isn't a lot of money. Steve says that the guy that just got hired is making over $100K. And Steve also says that that is a lot of money. But if you're making $100K, you would have to almost spend 20% of your salary to do all of this, and that's before taxes. So Steve then starts talking about all the name calling he's gotten, and he hates being called a pogue. Sorry for not giving a warning before saying that, but in military slang, pogue means person other than grunt. Basically, it means if you're in a non-combat job for the military, say you're a mechanic or cook. So Steve was in the military and was technically a pogue, but he does not like this new nickname.
They say, oh, well, who would ever listen to someone who was just a pogue? Who would ever take advice from a pogue? Just commenting, hey, you're just a pogue, man, why are you doing this? They would write a man say, oh, you're a pogue, how dare you do this? You're a pogue, or you're a pogue. Who should ever listen to a pogue? You were just a pogue, you didn't do any hard shit, I drove tanks. You pogue, you're just a pogue. Who would ever listen to a pogue? I'll poop in your mouth. And then they'll say, who would ever take advice from a pogue? Who would take advice from a dude who's saying he's gonna go poop in some other dude's mouth? That's just some weird, eerie shit.
Was that a pun? Steve, you can't get mad at the pooping guy. He thought pogue meant poop on grunt, and you're technically a pogue.
We thought it would be cool to show the behind the scenes and some of the craziness, thinking that people would see it. So if I would say one mistake that we make with the project is that probably put too much stuff out there because the average simple-minded person can't comprehend it. They can't process it that that's just a little piece of the puzzle, and that's probably intentional.
Dude, it's not like you're just posting one clip of yourselves going crazy and then the rest of the time you guys are just hanging out eating ice cream. You guys only show clips of yourself screaming at other people and doing the most unhinged shit. Also, you guys are the ones posting all this, so you have complete control of what people are seeing on your account, and you're choosing to put all this on. In all these response videos, they use the argument of, oh, you only see 15 minutes of 75 hours of, training, if you want to call it that. I watched their Instagram stories as one of these boot camps was going on, and I can tell you it was not 15 minutes, it was 35, just to be clear on that. Which I'll tell you, the 35 minutes they posted on their story, not a lot different than the stuff they post on their page. It's 90% of them doing physical challenges, and then they play fetch.
We're gonna throw this ball out there. I want one of you to bring it back to me.
We're doing. These people are not training to go to war. They're training to be better husbands, better fathers, or maybe to unfuck themselves after they got out of the military and lost their sense of purpose.
How does screaming and throwing people off of hills make you a better father? Like, if you were treating kids the way you're treating these guys, you would be going to jail. And yeah, there's a lot of people that come back from the military messed up, but you even admit you're not qualified to handle these people and their issues.
None of you are clinical psychiatrists and psychologists and have any this and that and therapists. No shit, we're not therapists, and we don't try to be therapists.
So stop saying that this program is going to help people out. Also, don't charge the people that are having mental struggles $18K to do your imaginary man camp. And I bring up the topic of therapy because during the 75 hours, 3 hours of it, the instructors play therapists and everyone just trauma dumps. So they are trying to be therapists even though they admit that they're not qualified. And all I'm saying is that 18K can get you a lot of professional therapy. Now, Steve does talk about some of the comments he's been getting, and I'll admit they're pretty graphic. I can't verify them, but if they are true, woof. Which, come on, guys, you don't have to be so graphic with your comments. You just gotta call them a pogue. But what's Steve's theory on why people online and people with military backgrounds leave such angry comments?
And I really think it's, I mean, you can go deeper into conspiracy theories. I think it goes into our government and a poor leadership in our government, not leading these men this way.
Yeah, thanks, Obama. He also blames men dressing as women and vaccines on why he's getting so much hate online.
We also didn't have men dressed as women leading us in the military. We also weren't forced to get vaccines in the military.
Honestly, pretty on brand for him. So the main guy that runs Modern Day Knights, Bedros Keuilian, also made a response video, and he just hates the term alpha males.
I despise the term alpha male because it's chest beating, chest thumping, egotistical maniacs who pretend to be alpha males.
So I can either make a cognitive dissonance joke here, or I can point out that he's wearing a sweater that says "Few will hunt," and I'm not really sure which one to go with. He also complains that the mainstream media has an agenda.
I expect that of CNN and Fox News. After all, mainstream media has an agenda. They're part of the opposition. They are the voice of the opposition.
But he also displays every media outlet that talks about Modern Day Knights all over his website. So he's happy that the voice of the opposition is telling people about his program. Would that make him part of the opposition? But don't worry, he explains why it's okay for him and all the other trainers to scream and yell at everyone at the start of the boot camp.
So to us, it's standard practice. We want to immediately show them that now we've got dominance over you, that you are now ours for the next 75 hours. We're going to control your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings. We're going to trigger you.
Yeah, you want to emotionally break these people into submission so you can control what they think. I don't see how this isn't a cult. Bedros tries to come off as like, oh guys, yep, I can really take a joke. You got me. But considering he's in 2 of these response videos, I don't think he really likes the joke. Now, the final response video came out in December before they really started getting trolled back in late March. And even by this point, they are trying really hard to convince themselves that what they are doing is cool.
We need to keep doing hard things so that we have a easy life. Otherwise, you keep choosing easy, you're going to have a hard life. And when I say to have an easy life, I don't ever want the easy life. I like having a hard life.
You want to have a hard life? You know, I feel like most people work to not have a hard life. Bedros sees a family begging on the street and he's just like, damn, I want that. So a lot of people say these guys that are joining Modern Day Knights should instead just enlist in the military, which I do take a little issue with because Modern Day Knights is nothing like joining the military aside of, you know, getting yelled at. Joining the military is something people respect you for doing. Joining Modern Day Knights is asking people not to respect you. But according to Steve, 3 days of the project is way harder than any 3 days of the military.
How similar is the military and what we do, or to what we do at the project for those 75
Well, in the
hours?
military, first of all, if you just take any 3-day period, the project is absolutely harder than any 3-day in military boot camp.
Yeah, maybe for yourself, you frickin' pogue.
One, you, me, and the other instructors of the project, we don't really give two shits about haters. Like, I've had haters well before the project.
You don't care about the haters as you make a video addressing the haters? Yeah, I don't think you care. It gets to the point where they start comparing their hardship of getting trolled to the same hardships as Gandhi, Mother Teresa, and Jesus.
I had to remind her, I said, hey, Moira, don't forget that Gandhi, Jesus, Mother Teresa, there are blogs, there are video YouTube channels dedicated to hating on them. And these were like some amazing humans in world history. Gandhi, Mother Teresa, and Jesus.
Imagine if those people right now, they'd be vilified on the internet. They'd be
Absolutely.
horrible humans.
Do you guys hear yourselves here? Yeah, calling Steve a pogue is the same as freeing India from Britain. And if you guys don't think these guys are scumbags still, just listen to what Bedros says here. He'll Instagram DM some of these haters and troll them by trying to get them to do the project for free.
I love trolling the haters, and I noticed you do too, to the point where I'll slide into their DMs. Like, I'm the guy sliding into their DMs.
I'm not that sick, but yeah.
Oh, I go
like
level
fun.
10. I told you I troll them, so I'll go into their fucking social media, and I went and looked at his Instagram, and like 2 posts earlier, he had posted about how his mom has cancer. She has breast cancer, and he's hoping that they recover and hoping that the treatment works and all that stuff. So I, like, with compassion, like, wrote a fucking DM to him. I said, bro, you're really shitting on the project right now. And however you feel about it, I get it based on what you've heard, what you've seen, or what your own personal experience might be. But if you're willing to come and do the project for free, and when you graduate, I'll give you $18,000 so you can put towards your mom's medical bills, because I saw that post you put, and I got the impression her bills are growing. His response was, fuck off.
I mean, yeah, how else is that guy going to respond to that? You said you troll these people, so you're going into this in bad faith, and then I love how he also tries to, like, overcompensate by saying, yes, I wrote this message with compassion. You know you're dangling $18K in front of someone's mom who's, like, dying of cancer. If you want to prove that the trolls don't bother you, you should just give this guy $18K for his mom's treatment. You know, according to Steve, $18K is not even a lot of money. You know, Steve, maybe you should throw in $18K for this guy, too. Yeah, we'll see how that works out.
That's it. We're doing God's work in a strange way.
We are doing God's work.
You literally aren't. I'm pretty sure God doesn't want you to run a club where if you're trying to join, you might die. Which, yes, someone actually did die when they were participating in the project. Ricky Spoons passed away in 2020 as he was competing in a fitness challenge in Chino Hills, where the project takes place. Ricky's wife, Caitlin, is also currently suing Bedros right now. You can find these court filings in Caitlin M. Spoons versus Bedros Keuilian. The most messed up part of this all, too, is that Ricky passed away right before his first kid was born. I don't know how Modern Day Knights can claim that they're making better fathers and husbands when they literally took away a father and a husband. I don't know how these guys aren't shut down yet. I hope they are soon, because I mean, just look at all of this. I was worried with the recent exposure all these guys have gotten that it would skyrocket this program, because like they even appeared on Fox News recently. To my pleasant surprise though, it has not. They've been actually sitting at 15 open seats for over a month now. Even with the added exposure, no one wants to join, and I do find that pretty funny. Steve also made a little comment that suggested that the trolling got so bad that they may not post stuff online anymore.
Because we've already put too much stuff out there. We've already decided we're ending it, so have a blast. Go talk all the shit you want.
And if that's true, good job, internet. We did it. Hope you guys liked the video. Catch you on the next one.